iShop.black. One-stop shop for your online buying and selling needs. Buying online should be easy, convenient, and affordable. Selling online should be easy, convenient, and affordable. A platform that connects Israelites, so-called African American, buyers and sellers. Shop the latest gadgets, trendy fashion, and unique collectibles. iShop.black showcases products of verified sellers. Launch your business online today. With fast and easy setup, free video training, and free technical support. Alone we may go faster, but together, we go farther. IB Israel. Join us at iShop.black to start your free trial today. Contact us at info@ishop.black. www.ishop.black.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the live stream today. It is Wednesday, May. I'm in the right month, May the 8th. I want to first give a shout out to our advertisers, as you can see in the beginning, the iShop, Black, doing some advertising with us. And also, the second one is actually the Water Tree Riverstone, a local business here, ran by a black woman. I actually go over there and get my water that I drink. You always see me drinking my water over there, and my kids love the water. They love that. We don't buy juices like that. My kids drink water all day long. A lot of times it's hard for your kids to drink water, but that particular water, I knew when my kids were just drinking it, I said, okay, I want this water, because kids these days don't drink water. I always tell people, if you don't see somebody drinking water, something wrong. You're drinking juice. You're drinking that horrible high fructose corn syrup, soft drink, soda water, pop, whatever part of the country you're in, you call that. So most definitely water is important. So if you're in the Houston area, go support the sister over there, the Water Tree, and all of that. A great part, bring your 5-gallon jugs, or you can buy other products from there. And yeah, let's, support our local businesses, definitely in the Houston area. With that being said, we got hopefully a good show for y'all tonight. And somebody said something on the stream, from the stream. We'll get to the rest of everything. Let me go look in the comments section real quick on my phone from last night's stream. Where is that comment? I saw it mentioning, just give me a second, I'm gonna find it. Let me scroll down. Man, I know it's not that far down. Hold on, it was something recent they just said. Well, it was mentioning the super mayor, actually. God, did that many comments come through before? They mentioned the super mayor, and it was mentioning that some news program was literally saying what I was saying verbatim about the super mayor, literally line by line. And I can't find that comment. I wanted to read it verbatim, what they actually said. But anyway, let me tell y'all something. The mainstream media watch this program. The people that support us watch, and the people that don't support us watch too. We have journalists all over the world who watch this platform. We got people that's watching to be trying to see what they can get from it. Do they reach out to us over here? No, they don't. A lot of them in the mainstream are threatened by their jobs with people like myself. People like myself don't want their jobs. That's the thing. Their jobs are secured. I don't want your job. I don't want your anchor job. I don't want none of that. I am cool doing what I'm doing. I'd rather be a free black man to have, my opinions and doing shows based off of what I want to do than having somebody else tell me what I can and can't say. Well, you can't say this about Biden. You can't say this about Trump. You can't say this about this particular billionaire. You can't, because they funding us. So you can't say, no. I'm free to whatever. So I am cool. So yeah, I know they watch. I know. I've heard different people. I've seen people do different things. I've stated things right here and things have kind of took off on certain opinions at times. I'm like, okay, I know where that came from because I know when I said it, right? But it's all good. It's all good. Dude, that's what we do over here, right? We are the underdogs here. We've always been the underdogs. We always, are the people that's overlooked. But they don't understand fully what we're doing here. And that's good. You never want to be, I love being the guy that you underestimate. That's kind of been my thing my whole life, is that people always underestimate me. And that's actually my advantage. When people think you're bigger than what you are, then they kind of prepare for that. But when they underestimate you, and I always say the Southern accent actually gives me that superpower, believe it or not, because people think that people with a Southern accent is ignorant. And so I definitely gonna always use that to my advantage. All right, so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, like I say, as y'all coming in the room, you say Stone say been following since 2016. Okay, shout out to Stone. Shout out to you, Stone. I greatly appreciate it. Since 2016, we have grown a lot. The show has changed a lot since 2016, and that's beautiful. It's also imperative that when we talk about the app, we need y'all to join that app. It's not just me talking, but you look at guys like Don Lemon, right? Don Lemon was on CNN forever, and then they just kicked Don Lemon out. Sure, Don Lemon got his check, and that's a good thing for Don, right? He had a guarantee. Good for Don. But they kick you out. Now you're scrambling to create something. If you're not owning something, they can kick you off of it. They can remove something. This is why it's so imperative that, like I said, I know some people say, but why? We need, like I said, we need to hit our 10,000 mark on that app. We need to hit that. I'm telling you, we hit that on the app, then we are so good at that point as a community. That's something we own, right? Because people could change the rules on these platforms at any given day and time. I've seen the rule changes. I've seen it happen. One point in time, you could show this. Now you can't show that. You used to say this. Now you can't say that. I remember when YouTube was the Wild Wild West. Man, you could cuss, fuss, go in, roast. Long as you didn't show some blood or whatever. I remember you could show fights on YouTube. Come on, y'all remember all that. YouTube used to, in a lot of ways, be hella fun in a lot of ways. But YouTube kind of moved to this extremely professional side of it. And I remember talking to people that partner managers I had, it was telling me that's the way it was going. It was going away from that Wild Wild West to all this professional stuff, right? And some people couldn't move with the transition. Some people kind of had to go away because they couldn't move with that. Now, I was already moving toward that anyway, right? So the final frontier for us is that app website. That is our final frontier. That is our own. Because we get mad about platforms censoring and why they censor, why you can't say this, why we can't say that. This person removed my channel or moved my page from Instagram. I had 300,000 followers just because I made one opinion. They can do that. But if you had 300,000 people on your own platform, they couldn't remove those people, right? All these people gone. That's why I said, all we need is 10,000 right there. If you're serious about black empowerment, you're serious about doing things on our own, that's what we need right there, So I'm just always going to have to emphasize that from now on. I see many people joining, bravo, but we got to hit our mark. Now, on to the regular scheduled programming. Devotional, we got to get that done. And then we're going to talk about our topic, ladies and gentlemen. So let me see. We've got to switch it up. So we did Eric Mays. So let's go to Sister Tiffany.
Y'all forget I am the leader. They want to hear from the mayor. If y'all ain't learned that yet. The mayor, not the trustees that don't do nothing, that only run their mouth. Y'all don't do no work.
What is that?
No comment. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all black. Y'all are black. And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a black woman that's in power. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. So this is what it's all about, guys. They don't want a black person in power. They don't want a woman in power. You know, if you ain't seen that yet. And someone so young. Everybody gotta understand, God give you what you can handle. That's what God give you. He ain't gonna give you more than that. As long as you can stay the course, fight the fight, and keep going, that's what we're gonna do here at Thornton Township. And we've been doing a doggone good job.
Clerk, what are you doing? You out of order. You out of order. Did I call the roll? Did I say call the roll? I'm still speaking. You're out of order, Clerk Key. You out of order, Clerk Key. Like, stop. Y'all out of order. Everybody want to run stuff. Y'all don't run this house over here. Stop, please.
All right, that's your super mayor giving you the word for the day to say God won't put nothing on you that you can't handle. I guess with Tiffany, you know, we'll see what happened to her shortly. You know, that subpoena situation is coming real quick on old sister girl Tiffany. So, you know, if there's any Tiffany videos that we need to add to the devotional, please let me know, because will definitely add to it, right? No problem. Eventually I'll probably find, you know, if somebody else we need to put in a devotional, let me know. Let me know. All right. So you see the title. Cool. That came from a particular tweet, or I don't know what you want to call it on X now. We can't say tweet. What is it? I just say a post on X that was kind of going around. A lot of Black Americans were responding to this post, speaking about the Israel-Palestine conflict. And this particular post had a lot of Black Americans chiming in on this post. And forever they've been trying to get us to weigh in on something that's not even in our neighborhoods, not even in our state, not even in our city, not even in the United States of America. So as you see down here at the bottom, I put who anointed Black Americans to be the biblical sacrificial lamb. Who anointed us to be that way, right? And only us, no other group, only us, right? But let me get to what was put on X so we can read this together. Just give me a second as we get this up on the screen. All right, Danny Haifong, right? He says, Beyonce, your queen, but what has she said about Gaza? Well, Beyonce is not my queen. Beyonce is a fellow Houston native. Beyonce is a sister in the community. That's for sure. But Beyonce is not no one's queen, but she's good at what she do in music. She's really good. So shout out to Beyonce. He says, Kendrick Lamar, your GOAT, the greatest of all time. But what has he said about Gaza? Now, Kendrick Lamar is really putting Drake, he's handling Drake. So we don't even need to go there, right? I mean, you could do a whole stream on Kendrick Lamar, how he has surgically annihilated Drake in ways that people haven't seen in a long time in the area of wordplay. So that is a total different thing. He says, Zendaya, actress Zendaya, you're everything, but what has she said about Gaza? I mean, okay, Zendaya is an actress. Why is he saying this woman is, I guess because he's talking to Black America, our everything. I don't know where he get that from. I mean, shout out to Zendaya, though. Have nothing against the young lady. He says, your favorite celebrities have given the most cowardly endorsement, let's say, of an Israeli-U.S. genocide. He says, silence. Okay. So we want to make sure to read that so we won't misquote anything. And just we got some questions to ask here. All right. So before I get started, let me say my personal opinion before we get started. I lean on the guise of world peace. I believe in world peace. I would like to see all men and women live equal. I would like to see everyone frolicking in the streets and playing with their kids and going to restaurants and movies and concerts and raising their kids and family and taking vacations and all the different things that people do is great, right? I want to see that for every human being on the planet, including the Palestinians and the Israelis. I would prefer to see that for everybody, right? Now, that is my personal opinion about that. Now, outside of that personal opinion that I have, that represents what I say, I have nothing else to say personally. Why is that? Black Americans, I'm just going to talk about what I see on the collective. Collectively, Black Americans, I'm not going to speak on how they feel, like how I personally feel about peaceful things, but Black Americans collectively has stayed out of that. And based off of what I see, what I'm hearing from Black America, and I can bring this commentary so maybe you could stop asking those questions, right? And then we're going to ask about why we got to be the biblical sacrificial lamb. Okay, this is the problem. Black Americans was everybody's sacrificial lamb. Everybody's. We always stood up for everybody because we have a bleeding heart. And we say, you know what? We don't like to see oppression of other groups of people. Look what's happening with the immigrants coming across the border. Oh, we got to stand up for them. That's not right what's happening to, the brown community. That's not right. We got to stand up for them. People like Jesse Jackson and many others would go to the border and stand and fight for, people that's in the brown community, right? And then later, when it comes to, okay, now you're in positions of power, now you're in a way that you can help us politically as supposed to be our Black and brown allies, right? We're talking about collectively. We're not talking about individual people, because I know individual people in all groups can be great and for the cause, but we're talking about collectives here. We're talking about collectives. Collectively, everybody get their leg up and they say, I don't know what's going on with Black. Y'all handle your own. We ain't trying to be with y'all. We got our own issues and problems. Okay, fine. Look at the folks. We have done for them way more than we've done for any other group, right? Every single time. Let's go all the way back to the Revolutionary War. They couldn't beat the British without Black America. They couldn't do it. They wouldn't even start the Revolutionary War without Crispus Attucks. So we say, okay, we'll help y'all because we tired of being in slavery. So we'll go on and help y'all. Okay, black folks fought, got the British off of their backs. What did those people do? What did they do? They put our ancestors right back in slavery, right? Then fast forward to the Civil War. The Confederates was kicking the Union's butt in the Civil War. What did they do again? Hey, Black people, if you come help us, we'll get you out of slavery. And until Black folks joined the Union, that's when the battle started turning and the tide started turning, when Black folks got in the Civil War and fought. And we were doing it for ourselves, but hey, it's still helping them, right? Okay, after the Civil War, you got your 10 years or so of Reconstruction. They trying to be good on what they claim. Black folks are thriving real fast in Reconstruction, right? Until the Great Compromise. In the Great Compromise, they were threatening another civil war. It said, if you don't remove them Union troops out of the South and let us do what we want and set up our own laws or whatever, we're going to start another civil war. They compromised with that. And then that's when the Union troops were removed and we were betrayed again. You understand? Okay. Every conflict, World War I, World War II, Vietnam, every issue in this country, here come Black America to get involved and save them. All the medical inventions that Black America created, right? To help save them. All the innovation in so many different things in this country Black Americans created to help them. They living today still off of the inventions and innovation of Black America, and didn't look out for us at all. They didn't share with that generational wealth that we created. They took it all, right? They're the main one always looking at Black Americans to save them. Black people, get out to vote. We don't want Trump. Why only us? Why are you always looking at us as the sacrificial lamb for everybody? Right? We can talk about this current conflict, but let's center back to the folks first. You're always looking at us, even in slavery. We did everything and wipe your behind. You couldn't even wipe your behind right without Black America. We always there to save you. Even on TikTok, if you on watching on there, they got this thing called Black Wife trend or whatever it's called, where they talking about these non-Black men basically getting with Black women, and basically Black women are basically turning them into non-Black versions of Black men. Let's call it what it is. That's exactly what they're doing. So the white women are asking the Black women, can you do that for my husband? And then now they catching on to this. Hey, this ain't slavery. What are you talking about? But once again, they want to do everything for them, right? They were sitting up there letting they forced Black women, not forced Black women to be wet nurses for them. Wet nurses basically had Black women taking all their breast milk away from their babies to give it to theirs. I mean, this is how much that Black people did for them, okay? Even to this day, they still looking at Black folks on Democrat and Republican side, even with the election. Black people, we got to get Trump in there because this country, man, we need Black people. The Democrats, we need Black vote. Everybody fighting for the Black vote. Why we always got to be coming to save everybody? Why we got to be the sacrificial lamb from the Bible? Then we get no reward out of it. I can understand that we were sacrificing and we were benefiting off the sacrifice. We don't benefit. Our people came home from fighting wars across the seas and came right back to this country and still call N-words and put on trees in their military uniforms after going to fight for this country. Why do you think a lot of Black folks today are really not there? I'm cool on that military. Some will get in it because they really want those benefits. But a lot of Black folks say, yeah, I'm cool on that because look at how Black people are treated. You're not even respected as a veteran. You're not respected as a man or a woman. But you gonna make a sacrifice? The Asian community, when they first came over here, they were heavily discriminated against. They went to the Black community. Who supported them? Black people. Why? We made all the Kung Fu movies popular. We would go to their restaurants when the folks didn't want nothing to do with their food. The folks didn't want them in their neighborhood. We supported the Asian community. What did they do? When they got their leg up, now they're trying to literally run a cartel with the hair care industry. They want to cut out Black folks out of the industry they should be running, right? When they first came here, they wasn't like that. They didn't get to that point and they still living off of Black folk, right? What allies do we have as a collective, not a few individuals, as a collective from the Asian community? We don't have allies like that. We don't. So we said, okay, cool. That's no problem. Fine. The stick that broke the camel's back with them, because see, all of y'all has done something though, is the stick that broke the camel's back. With the Asian community, the stick that broke the camel's back for us as a collective, from what I've seen, the Stop Asian Hate campaign. Let me tell you why. Instead of you pointing out who's really doing the Asian hate, which were these racist white supremacists, you point out some mentally ill Black people out of two cities, New York, San Francisco. Then we noticed a pattern. Every time they did something to one of y'all, they was wearing some sort of pink hoodie, some pink or red hoodie. All of them kept wearing the same kind of hoodie, the same kind of hats. We caught on to a pattern and say, bruh, are these people sent to do this? And they telling them where it is, because see, everything is caught on camera in New York. They got surveillance everywhere. And then we watch CNN and MSNBC propagandize Us. We watch Juju Chang and all these Asian actors propagandize us. Don't talk about the white supremacist male in Atlanta that went in there and literally shot up a massage parlor of Asians, shot him up. Don't even talk about him like that. But you talking about these few mentally ill black people who are, and the majority of them were immigrants, right? But you said it was black Americans. That's why delineation also came in, because see, with delineation, that don't work as easy no more, right? But you set up there, pushed it, and I learned something with that Stop Asian Hate campaign. I'm pretty sure a lot of you learned. So the Stop Asian Hate campaign, what we learned was, oh, this is how they pass laws. They gotta throw it on black people. And if you throw it on black people, that's how you get it passed. You can't get a law passed saying white supremacists doing it to you. You could only pass it when you say it's black people. And then when they did that, the anti-Asian hate bill and all that, all the COVID-19 bill, all of a sudden all of the hate against Asians is all mysteriously vaporized the moment they got that sign. And I got a good lesson myself in how propaganda works in real time. Okay? Black Americans haven't forgot that. Just haven't forgot it. So when something happened to them, we're like, yeah, we cool. We cool. Do you. Remember, we attacking you, right? So we good. You got the East Indians, you got groups, you got Arab groups. Let's talk about Palestinians if you want to go there. Who called the police on George Floyd? Why would you even call the police on him? Just ban him from your store and kick him out. And say, if you come back over here, I'm going to call the police. It wasn't even warranted, all that. If that dude would just ban George Floyd from their store and say, hey, man, if you come back, we'll call the police, maybe we wouldn't be discussing the name George Floyd. But they're supposed to be our Palestinian brothers, right? We've watched every group, no matter what group it is, no matter if it's LGBT, if it's white feminists, you name it. These women's marches, black people, male, female, have lent their voice, their moral capital to all these other groups. And in the end, we are always left looking bad. Look at George Floyd. It wasn't a majority of black Americans out there destroying cities. It was young white folks called Antifa running around here destroying property. Okay? Now, if that was really black folks, they would have shut that down. These young, I'll never forget that video out of California where one of them was up here spray painting George Floyd, and one of the brothers stopped him and said, hey, don't be doing that mess. What you doing? You're not even from this neighborhood. And ran them away from there. But you know what? Why isn't Antifa all locked up? They was doing the majority of the destruction during George Floyd, and all of them was the folks. Clearly, you saw that's what they were. They were attacking cops. They were throwing rocks. They were throwing water bottles. Go back to that footage. You see that's who mostly got the stuff jumped off, was them. We're taking it up a notch to destroy property, lighting things on fire. It was them. Because they like to try to throw that in our, oh, well, see, we came out there with George Floyd. We didn't ask none of y'all to come out there with George Floyd. We can do everything on our own. That's something we don't need no backup. We don't need that. Y'all only came outside because you was bored of being locked down. That's what it was about. If George Floyd would have never happened, you'd have stayed in the house because you're scary. You're scary. So black Americans, yeah, you remember that? You remember that? Yeah, you remember it. So black Americans have been seeing how everybody have paid us back for our advocacy, paid us back for being a sacrificial lamb, paid us back for our voice. I still remember that women's march stuff and how, they were so hardcore about it. her face is in my head, but her name, Tamika Mallory. She was so hardcore about that, and Carmen Perez and all them other, women like that were so hardcore about the women's march, and them women used Tamika Mallory and them, Linda Sarsour and all of them, used all of them, and then they turned on them. Because they can't get no movement going without black folk, for sure. They can't. They don't have the voice or the moral capital to do it. So with all that being said and all that being understood, now we have arrived, where we are in 2024. Harumi Ada say, I don't live in America. It say, but I'm still a black American. Right on with you. Right on with you. Right on with you. Well, we could say that about, you say Mallory set herself up for that. I don't feel for her. Well, we could say that about all black people, actually. Black people have been the sacrificial lamb. She probably thought in her heart at the time she's doing a good thing. So I'm not going to attack her for that, doing armchair quarterback. I'm pretty sure she kicked herself in the teeth about it all the time, right? But we have not gotten no payment on any advocacy or nothing. None of these other groups have helped us. None of these other groups today don't even advocate for reparations. Listen, if they would all say, you know what? If the least we can do is speak up about reparations, that don't cost them nothing. They won't go to jail for it. They won't have to spend no money. They can advocate for reparations, but all these groups that we fought for do not want us to get reparations because they feel that would take from them, right? Because they feel entitled even in this country. Black Americans are seeing that and say, wow, you can't even talk about reparations? Number one, you're not even entitled to it, so I don't know why you even got an opinion. But you can't, but all the things we did for all these different groups, all the advocacy, all the laws we fought for, all the laws they're benefiting from, and then when it's time to look at them, they're like, and then what's even more despicable and downright, because I'm going to explain it. Some people, going to be in their pride, but I'm going to explain it. What's despicable and downright hurtful, okay? We ain't talk about the other groups. Now let's talk about some, not all, but some, from the diaspora that came into this country. It is despicable and hurtful when you do it, okay? You're wondering what's wrong with some black Americans is because when people that come across that shoreline and we looking at a black person in the face, but you so turned up with the folks got you going in your head, or you so turned up in your tribalism, even against your own people back home. And instead of getting on the team with black American, and listen, we're not telling you to go stand on the front line for anything. Work, provide, get your education, do you. But the only thing we're saying is just be the support. Say, hey, you guys voting this way, we with you. Hey, you guys advocating for this, we with you. Anywhere you go, we with you, man. Because, hey, we wouldn't be here if y'all didn't advocate for us to be here, because call it what it is. The United States government did not want no one here except Europeans. They did not want no African here. They didn't want no Caribbean here. They didn't want no Afro-Latinos here. None of that. They didn't want that here. Only reason people of African descent have came across those shorelines is because of black America. Not only them, but if you are East Indian, if you are Arab, if you are the brown community or whatever community you come from, if you was not European, they did not want you here. Black Americans fought for you to have that better life that you fighting for so much. You're risking your life to come across that border for a better life. And you wouldn't have had that opportunity, it wouldn't be for black America, right? And then we don't even get your advocacy on reparations? You got the nerve to say, well, I don't think black Americans should get it. Some of them even say, well, I think we should get it too. Like, are you serious? So this is why black Americans now have said, okay, cool. We can't change the past. We can't change that. But the only thing we could change is today and then the future. The decisions we're making today is going to affect us next year, affect us 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now. It's going to affect us. So Black America is doing a status correction. This is why all the cookout invitations are null and void now. We're nullifying cookout invitations. We're not jumping up and being a biblical sacrificial lamb for nobody anymore. If we're going to sacrifice, we're going to sacrifice for ourselves. You understand? If we're going to sacrifice and talk about something outside of America, we'll talk about that in a, African nation, Caribbean nation, something like that, right? We'll talk about it like that if we're going to talk about anything. Or at least I'm going to say how I feel. Some people may not agree, and you speak for you. But for me, if it has nothing to do with Black America or the diaspora, I just don't focus on it. It doesn't affect me personally or anybody in the community personally. So that's bottom line. I didn't used to feel that way. I didn't. I used to have more of a bleeding heart to say, oh yeah, well this happened to these people and this not right and look at this and look at that. And at the end of the day, I even had to learn. I said, wait a minute, nobody looking out for us, man. Nobody looking out for us. Now, let's go back to when I originally wanted to mention, I mentioned it yesterday and I'll mention it again. Mark Lamont Hill. I'm gonna keep bringing him up. Mark Lamont Hill messed off his CNN job by sticking his nose in something that had nothing to do with Black America. Mark Lamont Hill could have been at the UN advocating for reparations in the form of cash payments when he had a time to speak. Mark Lamont Hill went over there advocating for Gaza and all of that. Mark Lamont Hill lost his job. They did not give Mark Lamont Hill a job. They didn't take care of Mark Lamont Hill's bills. They didn't do anything for Mark Lamont Hill, but he stuck his neck out. He stuck his income out for another group. And he's still doing it, right? And that's his choice. But I'm saying is, why stick your neck out? And if something gonna happen, let it happen because I'm advocating for the community. Because the community is the only one that really have your back. These other groups are not gonna have your back. All they're gonna say, oh, that's sad. Oh, he's right though. And then when it comes to down bottom line, when this man got bills to pay, when this man got a car note or whatever he got to pay, right? Now he got to go look for another job or something else because he advocated for somebody else that wasn't even in his business. Well, he could have been advocating for reparations. He could have been advocating about anti-Black racism happening in this country at the UN. We have so many problems in America, and if you want to talk about throughout the world, why didn't he talk about the Congo? Why didn't he talk about all these American companies literally got Congolese children in slavery, literally making $1 a day, working in cobalt mines, so they can have their cell phones and Apple can get all their stuff and Tesla and all of that. If we're going to talk about something outside the United States, let's talk about the Congo. What is that advocacy if you're going to be at the UN talking about something? Where is it? And let's talk about another thing. Since we go on there about Gaza, you're putting pressure on Black Americans. Hold on. I thought I did this, but hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Let me get something for y'all real quick. I got to put something on the map. Hold on. There we go. Let me download something for y'all. Let's just have a conversation. Let's have a conversation. All right. Let me download this real quick. And let's just have this conversation. I just thought something popped in my head. Y'all know I do things on the fly. So let's go. Let me put this on the screen for y'all. Let's just have a conversation here. Okay, here we go. There we go on the screen. All right. So let's pull this up off of Google. This is a map of a lot of these Arab nations, right? I mean, just a quick little map. It's not everything, but it's some, right? So of course, we talk about Palestine there, and But you got Lebanon, which is an Arab nation. You got Syria, Jordan. Egypt is ran by Arabs. Tunisia is ran by Arabs. Morocco, for the most part, Arabs. It's Algeria, Sudan. Now, a lot of black people in South Sudan, they had that. Yemen, Oman, the UAE. Where Dubai is at, Qatar, Kuwait, all these different places, Yemen. I'm putting this up, and I know there's more countries in there now. I'll just throw this up real quick, right? Just real quick. Why aren't you pressing all those nation states to be saying something and doing something? That's what I want to know. You're hardcore on black Americans about this issue, but not these Arab states. That's one. Then let me get to something else. Let me get it back to this. South Africa. South Africa, out of all them Arab nations, all those Arab nations that's their people, right? South Africa is the only one that went to the International Court of Justice about the situation. South Africa. Not Yemen, not Oman, not Saudi Arabia with all that money they have, not the UAE, all the money, they be throwing money around the UAE, Iran, Iraq, Libya, Jordan. None of them went to court about the situation. South Africa went. Once again, at least in the African country, another group of black folk trying to save people again. And people say, well, they supported South Africa during apartheid and all that situation, so they feel they have to. Listen, I get it. But now after that happened, now the United States is stirring up issues with South Africa. Where's all those Arab states to say, hey, if they even think about sanctioning you, don't worry about it. We got you. We're going to throw so much money in your country, it's not going to affect you, right? No. Now South Africa is starting to deal with issues with the United States. They wouldn't deal with this issue with the United States if they would just mind South Africa's business. And I had some South Africans tell me, Phil, well, listen, I recently been there. There's a lot of issues in South Africa that need to be dealt with in South Africa. Not dealing with their business that has nothing to do with South Africans. And when I talk about South Africans, I'm talking to my people and my people only. Nothing to do with them over there. Listen, man, y'all got enough issues to handle right in South Africa. You have no time to be dealing with people that got nothing to do with you right now. You don't. Unemployment is at 44%. That's what would be my focus. My focus would be unemployment. My focus would be expanding and helping my young people be the future of South Africa. That would be the last thing I'm thinking about. If it's not happening on South African soil, I'm not worried about it right now. Not worried about it. If it's not happening on the African continent, if it's not people in the diaspora, I'm sorry, we got issues in South Africa we need to solve. So now you're having problems with the United States when you didn't have none before. But this is what happens to black folks. You stick your neck out for other groups, and then when you get in a bind, these other groups don't come to your rescue. They don't. So this is why we in Black America have said, hey man, we're going to focus on reparations. Our children, we got to work on the illiteracy rate. We're going to focus on jobs for our people. We got to focus on the politics that's going on in this country that's harming Black Americans. We're going to focus on a lot of other things, but we don't have the energy and focus to do this. So when you taking up time going to write posts about Black Americans and saying, why aren't they saying anything? That was a post that you could have wrote supporting what you believe in. You could have, like, you can't force somebody to say something they don't want to say nothing. It's the same thing with Michael Rappaport. When he came out doing the exact same thing. Hey, why black Americans aren't saying anything? You know, we paying attention to you not saying anything. Like, okay, Michael Rappaport, if we say something, we don't know what we're talking about. If we say something, we call anti-Semitic. So the best response is just shut your mouth up, right? That's the best way to do it. Keep your mouth shut. But I always tell y'all this. Remember my words. They get more nervous when we're quiet. When you speak, at least they know what you're thinking. When you're silent, they don't know what's going on up here. When you're collectively silent, that makes people nervous. How many of you had a job? Maybe, where's my introvert brothers and sisters at? Some of my introvert brothers and sisters are in the chat. Some of you. And shout out to y'all. I love my introvert brothers and sisters. Y'all stay out of so much trouble. Trust me. If more people were introvert like you, we wouldn't have crime. We wouldn't have scamming. We wouldn't have city girl culture. We wouldn't have all kind of things if more people like y'all. Trust me. So shout out to the introverts. You go to the job and you just go into the job. You're not really talking much. You don't say much unless you have to. And they make up so many stories about you just to get you to talk. Well, DeAndre, you know, I don't think he likes white people because he don't talk to us. Huh? What are you talking about? I'm here to do a job. I talk to you when it's time for me to do my job. We get the job done. What do you mean I don't like you because I don't talk to you? Well, you know, I mean, I just assume you don't like me. No. That's how you think. I'm not worrying with you. When I'm here, I'm thinking about my life. I'm thinking about work. I'm thinking about my lady. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about what me and my mama talked about the other day. I'm thinking about the barbecue I'm gonna make over the weekend. Y'all the last you on my mind I'm thinking about. Or you may have something, you may be just reading a book or something. And they like, okay, you quiet reading a book and that's a problem? Well, I don't know what's wrong with him. He seems like he's just kind of angry. How? I didn't say a word to nobody. How am I angry? But I told you, they get nervous when we are quiet. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, Janine said being an introvert in the workplace is hell. Said people are so insecure. Now, other groups of people can be introvert though. Other groups can be an introvert. Other non-white groups, they don't say a word about, you know, Jose being an introvert. They don't say nothing about anybody, right? They don't say nothing about a Mr. Ali over here. He can be an introvert. Nothing is said. But when it comes to us, oh man, because I told you, they got to know what's in our head. And as long as you're talking, they know it's here. When you quiet, they don't know. So they got to keep, that's why they pay so attention to what we do and what we say. They're here listening to me now. Hi guys, how are you? I know you're here. And also Boris in South Africa, how are you too? Because you're watching, I know. I get some of your messages. And Boris in South Africa, let me tell you something. Let me talk to you for a minute. Come on in here, Boris. Y'all don't like y'all racism being exposed. I noticed in South Africa. Y'all been doing a lot of dirt in South Africa, and I've been hearing. And I had them Zulu sisters really told me how y'all be getting down in South Africa. Oh, but it's a new day, Boris, in South Africa, because now African diaspora is in South Africa now. And all your dirt is going to be brought to the forefront. That I promise you that. I promise you. It's my job to root out your racism in South Africa, because SABC won't do it. ENCA won't do it. They won't. That's okay. We'll do it. I promise you, Boris, give me about a good year. I have everybody in South Africa coming to this platform specifically to tell their racism stories. Y'all still out there calling black people the K word out there, verbatim. Oh yes, I'm hearing all these stories. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. One of them got mad the other day, y'all. Sent me a message on LinkedIn. Naledi made a video about, you know, that town Orania, where there's another town that's like that too. And, you know, he was mad, said, oh, well, that didn't happen today. That happened. It don't matter if it happened last week, last month. It don't matter if it happened 2 years ago. If it's still in existence, people in South Africa should know about it, especially black folk. And my content isn't for you. My content is for my brothers and sisters in South Africa. I'm talking about those who had those racist views. So please. So if you don't want me talking about you, or you don't want my team in South Africa talking about you, just don't do racist things and you cool. Yeah, because you know, they got some nerve, y'all. You listen, I'm the wrong guy to write. How y'all figure? Well, at least the ones in America have figured that out. But y'all boys in South Africa got to figure that out. I'm the wrong guy to write. I will ride down on you for a good 30 days to show you, better than I can tell you. This platform don't cater to you. Go watch SABC. They cater to you. Go watch ENCA. They cater to you. Go watch that. This ain't for you. Natural mystic, you can go research that yourself, but that word, the K word, is equivalent to saying the N word, basically. That's a word they had for them during apartheid, because you know how they are, the white supremacists. They got to come out with some derogatory word for black folk. Well, Timothy, you say they don't see it as evil the way we treat it. I don't care what they see. Of course, if you're operating in evil, of course you're not going to see your evil ways on other people. That's normal behavior for you. Of course, right? Oh, O'Shea, what's up, O'Shea? He said tricking it off for the good content. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. Out there in the great country of Uganda. Shout out to O'Shea. Let me tell y'all about O'Shea. Boy, O'Shea, my hero. Let me tell you why. O'Shea conducted business in a difficult country, in a difficult situation. O'Shea a better man than me. I always say that. I was like, O'Shea, go to Kenya and just do it over there in Kenya, brother. It's easy. Now, O'Shea went down the path of difficulty. He made something out of it. So, yeah, O'Shea, my hero in business for sure. Yeah, and he talking about all the booty clapping sounds and all that. Shout out to O'Shea. I've been seeing that. You know, that's why I say, yeah. Give Super Mayor that work. Yeah, you know, you got the angle, the lane on it for sure. I have so much I'm juggling, but yeah, Boris. Back to the Boris. Got an interview coming, Boris. Oh, y'all be doing some dirt. And got an interview coming out of South Africa, Boris. We're gonna go hard. Trust me. Boris, stop your racism. I'm warning you, stop your racism in South Africa. Because I'm telling you, we about to get established and everybody and their mama go come tell us their stories of what you done. Everybody. I promise you. And I can't wait. Why would you dream about traveling to Liberia? Just go. It's not a dream. Just book your ticket. It's not expensive what you think it is. Well, it's not about me getting them. It's not about that, ladies and gentlemen. I just don't like to see, like, some people, you know, because I've talked to the people there, right? And there's a need for it. That's my thing. There is a need because do you know in South Africa, sometimes they can't speak up about racism because them folks hold a job. So if they speak up, they fire them they don't have the protections like we have in America. Like if somebody call you a racial slur, the company can get sued. all kind of things can happen, right? And even though South Africa has laws against you, they call the K word and all that, some people are scared to step out, right? But sometimes what I've learned through these platforms, that if you shine a light on something, the government reacts. They may not react if they just say it, but if you do a full story on it and then you start sending it to, hey, what's up with this? Hey, lawyer, or I guess barrister, or they go over there, hey, is this a case? How much should we get going to start this case up to sue these people? So could we put them in jail? Could we get them fired? Like, you can get a lot more done a lot quicker that way in South Africa than probably even here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, but getting toward the end of this stream. Thank you for joining us on the stream. Make sure. Well, King is say you're more important than I am. I would say that. I'm just your brother. I'm not important. I'm a low man on the totem pole, and all y'all are way better than me. Trust me. All of you have probably accomplished more than me. You probably do things better than me. Maybe you just are more perfect than me. I don't know. But no, I am the low man on the totem pole, and that's why I'm going to stay. I'm going to stay on the low man on the totem pole. Some people may disagree with that, but no, I say that for plenty of reasons, right? Never think that your head gets so big because it all can be snatched from you tomorrow. Never think more of yourself than what you should. Because trust me, anything can be snatched from you tomorrow. So if you stay humble, I always tell people this, the scriptures teach, if you stay humble, God will exalt you. But if you exalt yourself with foolish pride, God himself will humble you. He will. So let me stay in the realm of humility. I'm down here. I'm not up here. Okay? So with that being said, make sure you download the African Diaspora News Channel app and Google Play and Apple App Store. Get a membership monthly, quarterly, or yearly. We're trying to get to our 10,000 members on there. As I said before, 10,000 members on the app is like over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So definitely, and that's our own people, right? That's our own subscriptions. Nothing that nobody can rip away or shadow ban or whatever the case may be. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. I got to work on my podcast, so let me